How are you?
Hi. Well, I'm Katerina.
Hello, Katerina.
I'm from Greece.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And very nice to meet you in person,
Very nice
even
to meet you
through.
too.
Okay.
So, Katerina, tell me your
So you live
seeking
in
story and
Canada,
what got you here. Sorry?
right? Okay. So, well, I'm seeking ever since I was a teenager. I was interested in the nature of reality
Hmm.
and in understanding myself. And nobody else seemed to care about those things, not in my family, none of my friends. But I always thought that this is the most important thing. And in the beginning, I read a lot about the law of attraction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, even though it seemed to be successful, I just didn't care about it. I was searching for something else.
Mm,
And then I discovered the Sedona method and the
okay.
release technique. And then other teachers like Adia Santi and Eckhart Tolle and Ruben Spira.
Yeah.
And more recently, David Bingham,
Okay.
with whom I had a few conversations, and Sailor Bob Adamson. And when yes, I was attending many seminars and retreats. I also did yoga for a
Oh,
few 7 years.
did you
Yeah.
become a teacher?
No, but I thought about it.
Okay.
Yeah, and then when I discovered non-duality, I know it was what I was seeking. It ringed very true.
Hmm.
And as I wrote to you, I think I understand it, but it's not my everyday experience.
Yeah.
It feels like there's something I cannot see.
Yeah.
And when I started listening to you, I felt that maybe you can help me see it. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. No worries. Oh, it's not about seeing it
Yeah.
because that implies that there's a next, right? So at
Right.
this very moment, this very instance, what do you believe if you're not able to go to the past or the future? Just go directly.
Nothing.
Okay.
I believe nothing.
What's between nothing and not nothing?
Nothing.
Yeah. What if you take away the word nothing? What's left?
Just the aliveness.
Yeah. So what are
This
you seeing if you
alive.
cannot use words?
I'm not seeing. Um, I am. That's that.
Okay. What do you even without the I am? What if we unlabel that? What if all of these words are just blindfolds? And if you take away all the, what are you without language?
Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything separate?
No.
No. Is there any problem?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
What
But
if you've been staring at life? What's that?
I I know, but I just forget about it all day long.
Yeah.
You know,
What
I
if,
go to work and forget about it. And
yeah. And that's okay
yeah,
because it's not about remembering it. It's always here. It doesn't matter. Thoughts might come, thoughts might go, but there's something that never moves. You can call it life, but to even take away the word life, it's always here. What if you've been staring at life, God, awareness, or whatever the entire time? And you're waiting for that next moment to see when you're looking at it directly over and over again every day. And what's being looked at is the same thing. What if God, life, or whatever is looking to your eyes and it's also looking at life?
um, when I'm talking to you or another teacher, maybe I totally see it. You know,
Yeah,
but um, this happens, let's say once a day, and like for a minute,
yeah, yeah.
and then and when I'm talking to you, yes, I see it, but then it's as I told you before, I forget it. The whole 24 hours a day I forget, and 1 minute I remember.
What if that's just a belief
You know.
that you're not seeing it? What are you without that belief? What if it's always here? What if the you that's seeing it is just a belief? And the belief comes that I'm not seeing it for 27/7, but that's just a belief. What are you without language? And then there's no next. There's no past. You just believe in the language. What if language is completely made up? Because it is. So the nature of reality cannot be said. It's not a knowledge. It's not a belief.
Yes.
It's what's always here.
Yes. It's always here, but we
Yeah,
get caught in thought all the time. It's
that's the
like these
next.
mind movies, you
That's
know?
the next. Yeah. What if there's no next? What if there's no next? Because there's no next. It's just a belief that you get caught up in the mind. What if even that thought comes, it becomes irrelevant because it's just another idea?
So, is it possible to be in that recognition all
Mhm.
day? Is it possible? I don't know how it is for you.
What is it for me? Oh, thoughts, you mean?
Um,
I don't think about
do
it anymore.
do thoughts come?
It doesn't matter because it's just a thought, meaning it's fabrication. When you stop believing it over and over again, then it becomes clearer and clearer and clearer. And then one day somebody asked me, "Do you still have thoughts?" I'm like, I haven't thought about it because it doesn't matter. Right now,
But
at this very moment, is there a thought?
yeah,
Where is it? Is it from the past or the future?
it's for the future.
There you go. And then it's irrelevant. It's pointless. So I don't engage in it anymore. It's like imagine catching a lie over and over again. Why do you keep on believing the lie?
Yeah, but what maybe there's some things that we have to do, you know, about the future. Maybe
How
there are
about
some
how
things
about
that
this?
we have to take care.
How about this? What what are you without that? What are you without the next? Because that's just a thought. What's between doing and not doing?
It's this aliveness again.
Yeah. Okay. If this is just the aliveness, then there's no next aliveness. It's just all aliveness, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Just stay here for a moment.
Well, I want to stay here permanently.
Okay. Then you have to get out of the way. Then you have to get out of the way. The you is just a thought. The belief is
Yeah,
just a thought. Yeah.
about that, I never understood that
Yeah.
because I feel I never understood exactly what it means that there is no me because
Okay. So
I
here,
feel I am. So there is a me.
I'll break it down,
Um,
right? So a
yeah,
thought creates a thought that becomes a belief. A series of beliefs
okay.
becomes a sense of me. So if you start unpeeling that, what is behind that belief that I am a me? It's just a thought.
Yeah, but it's also like a feeling that I am
Yeah, because
here.
the
This
feeling is
feeling.
hijacked by a thought that I am here. It's just a thought. So if you take away that the feeling, what's left? If you unlabel the feeling, what's left?
This aliveness again.
There you go. That's what you are, not your thoughts. You see what I'm trying to point out here?
Yeah, I know
But the
that I
thought
that
keeps
I
on getting in the way, right? So go in between the thoughts. What's between a thought and no thought?
this.
Yeah, aliveness, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So you're in between thoughts. You're not the thought. So stop believing the thoughts.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
um, I am that. I feel it. I know it, but it seems like localized. Like I'm not everywhere.
That's a
I'm
belief.
this thing
I
right
know. That's a
in this
belief.
place.
That's a belief. What do you without that belief at this moment? Just take away the belief.
Alive.
There you go. Is it localized?
No.
There you go. You've just been brainwashed by your own mind.
Ah, right.
Don't worry, it happened to me for a long time. You know. Then I started believing that I'm no me or I'm awareness. It's still a belief, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a word. Are you a word? No.
No.
Yeah. You can't say what you are. You can't think what you are. So the thought comes in, well, I am still localized and everything. No, that's a belief. Again, what are you without any beliefs at this moment?
Alive.
Mhm.
But then how, if I'm always like that, how will everything be done? like work and
Everything is happening automatically. I'm always like
yeah,
this, but I'm still
I
here.
know.
Yeah. That's just another belief that how can things be done? Actually, I'm the most productive character now, you know, ever since, it's just like you see me, like I probably post like 4 videos every week.
Yeah.
There's yeah, things are still done. I do one-on-ones every day. I walk my dog. My house is clean.
Sometimes I'm watching myself like
Oh, you're cutting out there. Just a
on
second,
the
okay?
phone, and
I'm just gonna turn
I
off my
understand that happens on its own.
I'm gonna turn off my camera because I think the internet is slow. Okay. Can you repeat,
Okay.
Katerina? Thank you. Sorry.
Yes. Sometimes I I watch myself talking on the phone with my
Hmm.
mom, for example, and I can watch it respond automatically. So
Yeah.
I know I can see sometimes that things happen on their own, without me deciding what to say. The body just talks and responds,
Yeah.
and I can see that sometimes. Yeah.
If you look at my last the new one, I don't know if you have my newsletter. Do you have my newsletter? I just
No.
I just released a video basically. This guy, it was just yesterday, right? It's beautiful. He actually was able to say that, oh my goodness, my thoughts, my mind is behind a long second. The mind is behind. The thoughts are behind like a second, and it comes up with things, meaning it's not you. It's an illusion. It's made up. It's a fabrication. The you cannot think about. It's clear. It's present. It's fresh. But don't get caught up in that again because you might think that that's you again. Words are not you. If you're looking for the natural reality or something, that's just even a thought. Empty out everything. And it's a full life. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that you're like a robot walking around like a zombie saying, there is no me here. Uh, it's all consciousness.
No.
No, you're going to be more authentic because the thoughts are not going to disturb you anymore and trying to be better, or you think that there's something wrong with you. There's an aliveness. Kind of like you caught the right name. There's an aliveness that's authentic. You laugh out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying? You can still cry, you know what I'm saying? It's not like, but it's not filtered anymore by thoughts or belief systems.
Yeah. I
There's a
still feel like
perfection
there's something I have to do,
that's
you know?
that's trying to go to the next, right? Who is that
Yeah.
I that has something to do with just the mind playing tricks on you again?
Yeah.
What's between doing and not doing?
Life.
Yeah. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it feels like contentment,
It is.
like there's nothing you need to do, nothing to change,
Yeah.
perfect as it is.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I laugh a lot.
I like that you laugh a lot. I
Yeah.
really like
So
it
people get
about
offended by it.
you.
They're like, why is he laughing so much?
Oh
I
no,
can't
it's
help
great.
myself.
Laughter is
Yeah.
great.
There's a lot of joy. There's a lot of, happiness. But you know what? There's also some days that there's a lot of, like sometimes I look at my mom, there's sadness that happens, right? But I'm at peace with it because I love my mom, right? So it's like being
Yeah.
human and not human at the same time. It's like being here and not here simultaneously. It's like personal and impersonal at the same time, right? It's beautiful. It's full. It's
Yeah.
integrated.
for me is so, the last months, what is happening is that whenever there is suffering, like a lot, it's like I wake up and I say, "Oh, come on, you're caught on your mind again," and I can just completely get out of the suffering. But this only happens when I suffer. All the other time, I'm caught in the mind, you know.
That's just a belief. There's no you caught in the mind. It's just a thought, coming up with a thought that you believe. And then a bunch of that belief becomes a sense of identity. Why do we start unpeeling them? Who's that I? Isn't it just a belief? Can you find the I? The I believing a belief is still a belief. A belief believing a belief becomes a sense of identity or, reality. Then instead of seeing the naturalness reality without words, without language, then you're fabricating reality according to your belief. It's like the mind is a hoarder, so it keeps on hoarding stuff. So this is a cleanup job. The moment that you bring a past, it's like bringing back garbage to the house that's clean. The moment you bring the future, it's like, chasing after that.
Yeah, I think the problem.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I think the problem here is that I'm still. I know I am life, but I also feel like I am Katerina. You know, this
And there's nothing wrong with that, right? What's between knowing and not knowing?
aliveness.
Yeah. It's sobering, right? Because the thoughts, the addiction to the mind will just keep on creating opposites. And then when you believe them,
Yeah.
then you think that you're your mind again. But can you find the mind?
No,
There you go.
no, it's just thoughts.
It's just thoughts, yeah. Can you find a thought?
Well, yeah,
Okay.
thoughts appear and disappear.
Yeah.
Um, they're not part of the reality that we live, but
No.
they exist somewhere. They appear and disappear
Can
all
you
the
also
time.
say that they're imaginary, like an imaginary friend?
Yeah, of
Yeah. So
course.
why do
It's
you
like a
why do you
movie.
believe your imaginary friend? It's not even an imaginary friend, it's an imaginary bully. The thoughts bully you. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
a bully. Yeah. It always says bad things, you know.
I
Very, very
know.
criticize
But it's
everything
all
all the time.
lies. All the bad things it's saying
Yeah.
is lies because it just creates an opposite, right? For example, if you say that, oh, there's so much contentment, the thought will be like, I'm not content. Oh, there's so much peace. Oh, I'm not at peace. Do you remember that
So if
time
there is
when,
a switch that
yeah,
we can switch it off.
well, to switch it off is to believe it.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
To,
Yeah.
to make it go away is to believe that they're real. And that's when suffering happens. I can't switch it off, right? And it just keeps on going in a circle over and over and over again. And you think that you're going crazy or that you're suffering. But the suffering, if you take away the language, where's the suffering?
Yes, I wanted to ask you something about that. Emotional suffering is easy for me to handle because I can always go and see what I really am. But what will happen if there will be physical pain?
Physical pain is pain. But if you take away the story, then pain is just pain. It's not mental suffering.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's a directness to it. For example, rather than, oh, my back is bad or something, Then you know what? You're a yoga teacher. You can do some yin, or you did yoga, then you do some yin postures. You're not thinking that, oh, because I'm old, you know, I used to be
Yeah.
this, so, oh, mo. And then
My
if you
life
go,
is ruined. What
my
am I
life is
gonna
ruined. What
do?
am I going to do? Right?
Yeah.
How am I going to be
Yeah.
happy now that my back is ruined? Then there's mental suffering. But if pain is
Right.
pain, you know what? The automatic thing that a person does with pain is try to treat it, try to relieve it, right? But because
Yeah.
of the mind, then it creates all of this narrative. Like, for example, one time I had some earache, and then I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be able to DJ anymore. My ex was not taking care of me, although I took care of my ex when they got sick, right? So all of these stories now I'm suffering. Now I'm alone. Should I get a divorce? Then I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. My life is ruined. I might as well die. It's just an earache. Go to the
Yeah.
doctor. You know what I'm saying? The doctor will say, here's some painkillers. If you like naturopathy, they'll treat it. You know what I'm saying? Rather than getting
Yeah.
stuck in your head over and over again. Pain is pain, right? Even if you take away the word pain, it's just sensations. I still get colds. But you know what? It doesn't last long because I'm not stuck in my head anymore. Or sometimes I even work through a cold. People are like, "Do you have a cold?" I'm like, "Yeah, it doesn't matter though, because it's just it is what it is." And if my body feels like lying around, in bed, that's okay too. Maybe the body just needs rest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this aliveness, what I'm saying, is unfolding in the present moment, not in the next. It's not about seeing things because the mind is just trying to trick you that you have to see something when you've been staring at it the whole time. You're just blinded by words and thoughts and beliefs, right? And like what I say, even when you say
Yeah.
aliveness, now you see. But it's not you seeing it because the you is a fabrication. It's just all aliveness. What's between seeing and not seeing?
Aliveness.
Yeah. See, all the veil is gone. Is there anything missing here?
No.
No. There you go. Is there a next?
No.
No. Is there a past?
No.
There you go. So unfriend your imaginary friend because it's not really a friend. It's a bully.
Yeah. Very much so.
Yeah. if your
So
thoughts if your thoughts were a person, you would not want to be friends with your thoughts.
no. No.
I used to be like, I used to feel like I was crazy. I'll be like, shut up, because I was thinking too much, right? So yeah, if you look at it, thoughts are like a mild form of schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're seeing things, you're hearing things. Thoughts.
So do animals would animals don't have thoughts, so do
No,
they
they
live
do.
life free
They do,
from
yeah.
suffering?
Have you ever seen cows do a protest? You know what I'm saying? And
No.
they go quietly along in the butcher line. You know what I'm saying? There's improper treatments of animals, and then that's one of the reasons when I stopped eating um you know meat and everything, right? I still eat meat, by the way. It's all an illusion. um but in the story, I choose more of like the humane things, right? But they don't have any thoughts. My dog, for example, today, you know what, she was pissed off at me because she wants to go to the park, right? All I have to do is pull a ball from my pocket, give her a treat, forgot all about it. They're very present if you look at it, right? They're very present. and they're happy. Like my dog is happy just sitting by my feet here the whole day. And then when I say, let's go for a walk, she smiles and jumps around, right? We can say that the dogs and the animals are more enlightened or more awake than humans, right? Because
They're certainly more happy
more happy, yeah.
than than humans.
Oh yeah. If you look at birds, right? I was like looking at the window. I'm like, isn't it minus 20 here in Canada? And there's like pigeons flying around. I'm like, how do they survive? The moment that a Canadian goes out, although every Canadian knows winter is harsh here, they'll talk about, this weather is so horrible. You know what I'm saying? And they're so unhappy. And it's just all talk. Even the words that we say are all made up. So why do we keep on believing them?
So I was thinking about something else. I wanted to ask you
Yeah.
if everything happens automatically and there's no me.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, no me is
is
just
there
another
anything that we
concept,
can
right?
do? Hmm?
No, because you know what? If there's something that you could do, then you're implied that there's a me doing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's
So
no me or no me. That's another thing, right? So when you think that there's a me or no me, what's between me and no me? Go there.
yeah.
Yeah. So the mind keeps on trying to trick you to get some questions
Yes,
answered, right?
I have this. I even ever since I was like 17, I was thinking about the concept of free will,
Mm-hmm.
and now it feels like there's nobody to have or not have any free will.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, you can also see what's between free will and no free will. When you're thinking, there's choice, but when you're not thinking, there's no choice.
So, who, if there's no choice,
Yeah.
who's choosing what happens next?
There's just a thought. If there's no thought, is there anyone choosing? Again, thoughts just create fabrication, right?
No, but it feels like I decided to get married, for example.
Well, that's a belief because the I is a belief, believing a belief, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying that there's no free
So
will or choice.
the marriage would have happened anyway.
Automatically, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
that's
kind of
why
like, you know
we're
what?
all,
They've attached the machine to a brain, right? So the brain will say, yes, the brain is behind. Sorry, they attach a brain to a machine, and basically the computer can figure out what your decision is 6 seconds in
yeah,
advance of what you would say.
I know.
You know
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
right?
I know.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why everybody's innocent, because
Everybody's innocent. Yeah.
no choice has ever been made by someone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Without any thoughts, is anything even happening?
Ah, no, but I wanted to ask you something else also. I remember now. Whenever I stay, I'm aware of being alive and nothing more.
Mm-hmm.
After a while, it feels kind of boring, you know?
Because it's a belief now. A belief gets boring so that you don't believe. See, the mind is trying to go to the opposite. So don't believe your thoughts. Because that's just another thought. Because when you believe it, it becomes boring, of course.
Yeah. It's like the mind is saying, "Oh, come on, this is so boring. Let's watch another movie with
That's right, because
anxiety and
it doesn't want to
suffering."
get
And
caught that it doesn't exist, right? So it's trying, always trying to go to the next. It's trying to go to the next. So don't believe it, right? This is boring. Let's do another thing. This aliveness is so boring.
even though it's so nice.
Exactly. I want fireworks. I want this and that. So
Yeah. It's
that then it
nice
goes
and good
suffering because
and
it's fixated on the next that will never happen because there's no next. There's only now. There's only this moment. If you take away the words, there's not even a now or a moment. You can't say what this is. Some people call it awareness, aliveness, but take away those words again, right?
yeah. Sometime I got this when I read Angelo Di Lullo's book
Mm-hmm.
that says, "What are you that is not a thought?" And that helped me very much
Yeah.
to see what he means.
Mm-hmm.
This thing cannot be described.
It can't. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. What are you without any thoughts? Seriously.
yeah,
That's a great pointer. I use it once in a while too, I think. Yeah. Was it a good book?
yeah.
I heard
Very
it's
good.
good. Yeah. 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 What are you without any beliefs? I even go further. What are you without language? Because without language, how can thoughts happen? It's just a language. It's programming. It's like believing Siri or Alexa, an app. It's what are you without the app of words, of thoughts, of thinking? Very simple. It's very simple and very direct. The end of seeking is very simple. And if you don't get caught up, you know what I'm saying, with the ideas about the next, then there's just clarity. But clarity without any words, clarity without any ideas.
It's like we can always be that,
Mm-hmm.
but we choose not to be sometimes.
Well,
When we believe our thoughts.
that's just a thought again, choosing that you're not, it's just another thought.
It looks everything's just a thought.
Everything is just a thought. Yeah.
So if we can always be content, why are we doing this? Why we run away from this
There's no
into
why.
thinking?
There's no why. That's just the mind trying to figure out again. There's
Yeah,
just contentment. Yeah. You see it? You catching it now?
it's so sneaky.
It is
This
so
mind.
sneaky. Yeah. It's like a spoiled
Yeah,
child. Why?
yeah. But it doesn't rest ever, you know?
Yeah.
It
No,
comes
that's just a
again.
belief. That's just a belief. That's just a belief.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just trying to go for the past, right? Because it doesn't, no. there is an unfolding in the present, you know what I'm saying? In the moment, not in the past or the future. In the past and the future is almost like a block of this unfolding. It's trying to make sense of something that doesn't make sense.
Well, my mind made sense of something.
Okay, go ahead.
Tries to figure it out and says, okay. So if you stay in this moment, you are happy,
Mhm,
content. And if you go to thought, past, present,
mhm.
then there's suffering.
Oh
Simple
yeah,
as that.
yeah, simple, very simple. In the moment, where's the suffering?
No, there's no suffering
Exactly.
now because
And if there's
reality
no
is
next,
now.
yeah, if there's no next moments, then there's no suffering whatsoever. Yeah.
So that means, yeah, that's why suffering is an illusion because it's in the past or the future.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not real. It's not
Mm-hmm.
what's happening. It's just a thought.
Mm-hmm. It's just a thought. Yeah, you got it. Bingo. It's so simple. It's so direct, isn't it?
So everybody could be happy and content.
Yeah.
It's possible for
It's
everybody.
almost like the standard. It's like the default setting is actually contentment. Or you can say that the nature of a child is just happiness, right? If you look at a child, a baby, right? It's just happy. But it's also very direct. If it's hungry, it will cry its lungs out, right? No filters.
I know. I have a son.
You have a
You
son,
know,
okay? How old is your son?
he's 11 years old now.
Oh, so you went
Yeah,
through that, all of that, right? So yeah,
yeah. I remember when he was a baby. Yeah,
yeah,
crying and everything, but uh, didn't suffer. You know.
yeah, exactly, right? The moment that if you notice, right, the moment you give it food, it smiles again.
Yeah.
Simple. Right? If it's hungry, it will cry with the lungs. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then we start. Then we start learning that we're a me or a you or a he or a she or whatever, right? Then we start believing that we have an identity, but it's something that we learned along the way, something that we have to believe, something that was taught to us, basically. Then duality happens, basically.
But then another thought came now. Okay, I'll
Please go
say
ahead.
it. Sometimes I yell at my son,
Yeah,
and then I feel terribly guilty and everything.
that's the past. That's a thought now.
Yeah,
Start anew. Yeah, stay in the fresh. And if that happens again in the future, that's just another future, right? It's just innocence. It's all innocence at play. But don't get caught up in the past, right? Because that's just a story now. It's not here.
yeah.
Yeah. See everything with fresh eyes again, right? See the world without words. Are you really looking at your son? Is that the natural reality you've been looking for? Here you go. Right? Is that the aliveness that you've been seeking is right there in front of you? And the
Yeah.
aliveness is yelling at aliveness. And it's not separate, really. You know what I'm saying? It just has gone temporarily crazy. Now that you're kind of like coming back into sanity a little bit, right? I hope so. So you live in Greece, Katerina?
Yeah, I
Oh
live in a
wow.
Greek island.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Which
You
island?
should come sometime.
I would love
Lesbos.
to.
The island's name is Lesbos. It's
Lesbos.
in
Oh,
Aegean.
beautiful.
Mhm.
Lots of octopus. You like octopus?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, okay. I have a friend here from Toronto. His name is George, and he took me to a really nice Greek restaurant. So good. The food is so good.
Yeah, you
So
like it?
good. So yum. Yeah. It was the best. And then the owners are all oh yeah, the food. It's although there's no past food, the remembrance it was beautiful. Yeah, so go deeper into that silence. If you can't go to the past or the future, then what's left?
Yeah, that's all there is. This aliveness. But then the thought comes again. Okay, now it gets boring.
It's trying
Just
to go
that
to the
thought.
next. Don't believe it. Yeah, it's irrelevant. Yeah. Unpeel the word boring and what's left? It's just a belief. Yeah, there's a silence. I don't know if you start hearing it. Like in between thoughts, what's there?
Stillness.
Yeah. It's almost like
I
a,
like
a
stillness.
yeah, it's like a sound, right? But it's silent sound. It's like a ringing of the ear. What time is it in Greece right now? In Lesbos.
It's 5:30 in the
Okay.
afternoon,
Okay.
evening, whatever.
Yeah, I would love to go there. Sometimes this silence is so beautiful that sometimes I can just sit in a under a tree for hours and just yeah, it's never boring because who's bored? It's just a thought. See, the mind is so used to coming up with stuff, right?
Yeah, all the time only.
Yeah, yeah.
Now a thought came that said, okay, now you have to go to everybody and try to make them happy, like to make them, you know,
Yeah.
it's again the mind tries to take me away.
Yeah, it's
from
okay. It's
this
okay.
into a mind movie. Yeah, it's
That's
okay,
okay.
no problem.
No problem. Yeah,
That's
go
what
for it.
minds do.
That's what it is. It's like you know, when you have a friend that is always lying, and then you catch them on the lie, you don't believe them anymore. It's the same thing as the mind, right? The mind will keep on creating lies about the past and future. It's almost like it's a blindfold. Every word, every belief is a blindfold so that you don't see. So you're going to the dark past and the dark future, stumbling all over the place and suffering. But there's some clarity in the moment.
So
Yeah.
then we could just rest in this aliveness and watch life unfold without anxiety or trying to control, or should we just do that?
So repeat that again.
Like stay, we could just stay in the present moment and watch our life unfold on its own.
Yeah. Or you can also say what's between doing and not doing. And then life just unfolds. Oh yeah, the same thing,
So
you know.
control is an illusion also.
It is, yeah, yeah. The mind wants to control, right? But what's the control? Can you control life? No.
Control life. Very funny.
Yeah. I'm here to control life.
So funny. Okay. Yeah, that's ridiculous. We
I'm
try to
here to
do this all
arrange
the
life.
time.
I'm going to arrange life. I'm going to control it. I'm going to do a life improvement. You know, no,
Right.
life just happens. It unfolds, right? And yet it never moves.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's stillness, basically.
So, about this person that we all are, I'm Katerina. Is there that
It's,
means that there's nothing I can do to
well, it's
improve
made up, right? So
Katerina's life?
yeah, what can a make believe do other than make believe? The illusion will just keep on coming up with illusion, right? So if you keep on believing or not believing that you're Katerina, right? It's between belief and non-belief, basically. There's an aliveness. You don't have to believe that or not believe it because it's always here. It's very subtle, isn't it? It's very gentle. It's very unconditional, right? Some people call it God, awareness, or whatever, right? But even take away those names. It's peaceful. Sometimes peaceful might seem boring, but it's not. I've never been this happy in my entire life. The past 8 years of just peaceful. In the past, I was either a saint or a sinner. I was chaotic or pretending to meditate 10,000 hours. You know what I'm saying?
So all this suffering is so unnecessary.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's so irrelevant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, because we suffer because we want to change things,
that's right. We
which is
suffer
an
because we can't
illusion.
see the mind basically is suffering if you look at it, because it always creates an opposite. So it will never be content. When it's hot, it wants it cold. When it's cold, it wants it hot. Always wanting what is not. That's the mind.
Right.
Yeah.
But what
It will keep on having
is
desire.
happiness?
What's that?
What is here is happiness, and
Yeah.
we chase other things. So we get away from the happiness
That's right.
that's
Because
here.
we think
So,
we're a we. We think we're an individual. We think that we
yeah.
are Katerina or Emerson, right? And I believe that Emerson likes this, to be fully enlightened, the most enlightened being in the whole. No, that's just another fabrication. Because the mind will never be content. It's always looking for the next, the next, the next, the next, the next. Or it fabricates a landing. I am the most enlightened, that kind of thing, right? Which is just another
Mhm.
thought.
So what happens when we die then?
That's just another
Future.
thought.
Yeah.
Is there such thing as a beginning or ending? Or is it just a thought?
Yeah, I never felt like I began. So
Yeah. Like
yeah,
even if you notice this whatever this is that's speaking, does it have any age?
no.
No. There you go. Is it in time? No. See, the mind creates bookends, beginnings and endings, right? If you look at it when you're a baby, you came with silence. And then when you die at your last breath, or when you get dementia, everything goes back to silence. And that temporary bookends, like beginnings and ends, doesn't matter. It's this and that. It's always an opposite. The mind creates opposites, but there really is no opposite. Even the brain is left brain, right brain, right? If you go in between the left brain and right brain, then there's the infinite aliveness. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, very
Mhm.
much.
Yeah.
So we all want to be saved, yeah, but we are already are.
Yeah. Yeah. It's already perfect, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? We just think it's
Yeah.
not. So what's between perfect and not perfect? See, even words will try to create another idea of what this is, right? Because words just create opposites if you notice it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see it, but I thought it would be more dramatic, like
No, that's what the mind wants.
change everything. The way I see the world will change, the perception will change, but
No,
it
no, no.
didn't.
It's kind of like what they say, right? Chop wood, carry water. After,
Yeah.
stop would carry
Yeah.
water. It's funny, right? Because before, I share this in my talks. I'm like, okay, so is the Buddha and Jesus Christ going to come down now and give me my certificate of enlightenment? No, because that's the past and the future, right? There's just clarity. Clarity is beautiful, contentment. And then in this beautiful emptiness, or whatever you might want to call it, there's an inherent kindness there, isn't it? Like a love, basically, like unconditional something. So there's no more ego, basically. Where's the ego? Ego is just mind stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where's the desire? It's just mind stuff. If you really start looking just really clearly all the time, right, then you'll catch, you're like, oh, that's just a thought. It's all made up. Oh, it's just something that there's not even an I behind a belief or a thought. It's just a thought coming up with a thought, a belief, making up beliefs. So simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I was imagining it would be like a mystical experience because I had some of those, two or three. It's
Yeah.
something, but it's not that. It's
No,
something different.
it's
Okay.
sobriety from all of the
Yeah.
magical thinking, basically, right? I don't know about you, but I'm floating in space right now. So it's about
Yeah.
four
Me
feet
too.
inches. You too. Okay, good. It's just peace that passes all understanding, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's aliveness,
Mhm.
peace, and contentment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see now why some people call it emptiness because I never understood that because it's so empty, but it's also alive.
Yeah. It's very alive. It's an empty aliveness.
Yeah, because I didn't like the word emptiness. I
Yeah.
couldn't understand it, but now I see
You see
what
it
it
now, right?
means.
Yeah. Yeah. Your internet is better now.
Yeah, that feels great. I don't know why we ever leave that now and go to our minds. I
See,
don't
that's the mind
understand.
trying to make up something again. See?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it never stops. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just a belief.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Right.
It's a beautiful unfolding where you're like, oh my goodness, it's just a belief. Like sometimes I'm talking about something, I'm like, oh my goodness, that's just a belief. It just gets clearer and clearer. Not in time, not in the past or the next. In the moment, it just gets clearer and clearer. And then there's nothing to talk about. See, that's how clear it is. The questions just drop, right?
They don't matter.
Yeah,
Questions don't matter.
yeah. How did you find me? Was it just through algorithm? You were just going through
Yeah,
YouTube?
because
Really?
I was listening to many non-dual teachers, And there was a video of you, and I watched it. I really liked the way that you pointed. Um, but I couldn't because I was coming back home from work, and I was very tired, and I was playing your video and fell asleep.
Okay.
But I still liked it very much, and there was
I don't take
something
offense,
that
don't worry.
resonated. Hmm.
I said I don't take offense.
No, because
There's this friend of mine. His mom listens to my videos, and his mom goes, "I love your videos, Emerson. It puts me to sleep."
yeah, because I get very relaxed and more relaxed, and then I go to sleep in the middle of the video, and the next time I watch it again.
Yeah,
And yeah, I really like the way you talk and the way you point at things, but it's very different when I'm here with you
yeah,
than watching you talk with other people.
yeah.
It's very different.
Because the mind is trying to figure out what I'm saying. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like when you book this, the mind might as well have written a resignation letter. It's in retirement. Right? It will try, you know what I'm saying? It will try. But you've seen this clarity already, right? This aliveness. Yeah. So where's Lesbos close to? Is it close to Kitira or no?
No, it's in the North Aegean.
Okay. Oh, so it's bluer there, right?
Yeah, very blue.
Very blue.
We have
Okay.
6 months of a year we can go to the sea and swim, which is great
Oh,
because I love the
wow.
sea.
6 months. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Here we have like 2 months, probably, or 1 month. And
Isn't it
and the
very
water
cold
is and the water
in
is still
Canada?
cold. Yeah, the water is still cold. You have to go to British Columbia. You have to go to the west, right? There's the Pacific Ocean there. But the rest of Canada is lakes. You know what I'm saying? Actually, no, no, that's not true. You go to the East Coast, but the water is so cold. I
You
grew up in
should
the
come to
Philippines.
visit Greece sometime.
I should. I should. Yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah.
you will like it.
I think so. Yeah. I can meet up with you.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
great.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what do you do, Katerina, for work?
Well, I work in a bank
Yeah.
here for many years, like 25 or
Oh
so.
wow. That's good.
Well, it's a nice job. I like it, but it's very stressful.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
to do a million things. All I go to work for 8 hours, and time passes so quickly because there's so many things to do, and it's
Yeah.
very stressful also.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's okay. I like it. Yeah.
I used to I the closest I got to banking is I was a cashier sometimes. I used to be a bartender and sometimes I would be a cashier,
Yeah.
at the bar and everything. And I didn't like counting money, you know what I'm saying?
I count much money every day.
Right? Because you're trying to balance your thing. I'm like, okay, did I take payment for that? Or, you know, oh.
The
But I
thing
had fun
about me,
bartending. I had fun bartending.
yeah,
Yeah.
um,
A
there's
long
this
time ago, I was in my 20s. Yeah. Or earlier,
20s.
actually. Yeah.
Okay. My life is it's I chose this profession. I studied economics and
Mhm.
everything. This is my one side, and my other side is the seeking side. I
Yeah.
like metaphysical stuff and
Yeah.
all. And I could easily be a nun, very easily. It's
Yeah.
not something that sometimes I think, oh, if I hadn't found my husband whom I love very much, I could be a nun, because I think that the most important thing in life is to focus on those things
Yeah,
which
yeah.
are important. Yeah, yeah.
I was raised Roman Catholic. Same with Greek. A lot of Greeks are very Catholic, right? So are you Catholic?
They are Orthodox Christians
Orthodox
here
Christian.
in
That's
Greece.
right. That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
They do the Lent season. They do the Palm Sunday, all that Orthodox stuff, right? So,
Yeah, I'm not. My family is not it's not religious. We are
yeah.
Greek Orthodox as everybody else, but we don't go to church like maybe in Easter once a
Okay.
year.
Because I have a
In
friend here. He does he started doing one-on-ones with me. And then one day he didn't go to Ash Wednesday or something. The cross on on the forehead with the ashes. Or I can't remember what he said, but it's very similar to Roman Catholic. Roman Catholic is very much the same.
yeah,
There's a lot of Greeks in Canada as well.
yeah, I know. I've never been there.
Come in the summer.
Are you from Canada? Is this
Yeah.
the place you were born? Really?
No, I was
Yeah.
born in the Philippines.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I came here when I was 15 or 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been here longer than I've been in the Philippines. I'm
Yeah.
53 now, so it's 40 years that I've been here. Wow.
Do you like it, or it's very
I
cold for
didn't
you?
like it in the beginning. I wanted to go back to the because Philippines is tropical country, right? So it's hot.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't like the cold. I remember walking, it was so embarrassing. My shoes were still made in the Philippines, right? So it did not have the proper sole for ice.
Oh, right.
So I was
Yeah.
going to my school bus on the first day and I kept on slipping and everybody was laughing, right? All of the high school kids. So I hated it. And it was just, I came here in the suburbs and then there was nothing. It was so boring for me because I grew up in the bustling city of Quezon City, right? So I lived in a city. And then we would go to the province every summer. Here it was just boring stuff. I love it now, to be honest. Yeah. I appreciate Canada. Yeah. So what's
You know what I was thinking now? A thought came to my head. I have like hundreds of books, hundred. I have my own library because ever since I was in high school,
oh
there
no.
was no internet back then. So
Yeah.
I was trying to find books and collect them about all those stuff. And now I'm thinking that all those books uh, were not necessary for this.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard my story. So when this clarity can like just clicked and then I was silent for a month, all the words basically left, right? There are no more words. I was just speechless. I'm like, because I was such an intellect in terms of I intellectualized everything basically, right? So I read books nonstop and I would carry this backpack of books or no, a carry-on case, like a luggage of books. So after the month of clarity, I started putting all the books in a garbage bag
Really.
because it's almost like it was almost like it became my drug basically, right? It's kind of like when you're addicted
Yeah,
to
yeah, me
words.
too. Yeah. I
Yeah.
was always searching in Amazon for the next book that
Me
will.
too. On Audible, right? I would type in consciousness, awareness, enlightenment. I'm like, I've read it all. I'm waiting like every day. You're like an addict looking for the next book
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah,
listen to.
exactly
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I even searched for you to if you had any books in
Oh, did you?
Amazon, but I didn't find. Yeah.
I have a couple of books, but I'm like, this is just gonna add more, add more. I'll finally release it. I have to revise it a lot because it's still very contradictory. So yeah, soon.
So no problem because all this stuff are contradictory for the
It
mind.
is for the mind. Yeah, 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 yeah. You know what's beautiful about this? What time does the sunset happen in Greece?
What time?
Is the sunset?
This time of year is about 5 o'clock.
Oh, you
It's
already
the
missed it. Okay. Because I
Yeah,
was about to say go walk around and look at the sunset. It's so beautiful. Or the sunrise. What time does the sunrise? 5 o'clock in the morning too?
it's about 6.
Beautiful.
And here in Lesbos, Mytilene is another name for our island. There's a huge moon, really big and
Oh,
really
wow.
yellow. It's famous in Greece,
Oh,
I
wow.
don't know how this happens, but it's a very big moon here,
Beautiful.
which is
Beautiful.
great. Yes.
Yeah, you should walk around and see, look at the moon and everything, right? So, yeah, well, the end of seeking is here. There's nothing to seek once you see that all words are made up, right?
Right.
So I'm going to stop the recording. Just a second.